What's up, everybody? Welcome to the 3VO podcast, where we are all on the same team. I'm one of your hosts today, Brendan.
And I'm the other one, Jordan.
And if you're new here, we're just two big old nerds who absolutely love video games and love to share our love of video games with the world. So if you too are a lover of video games, then this is the show for you. As always, it's time to check in. Jordan, what's going on?
Woo! We are here. That's a big step for today, personally.
Oh, really?
Just my schedule still, just like allowing, just like sprinting home from work, getting a little bit of sleep, and then coming over here. So we're going to see how this goes today.
Spring has been the craziest spring.
It's been
It's been the craziest.
It's been so nuts. I don't know what's happening with the weather anymore.
It's been the craziest 8 months this year.
There is 0 point trying to. I don't even look at the weather app anymore. There's no point. What is the point?
Yeah.
It's either gonna lie to me or make me upset.
Yeah.
Those are the two options. It was like 90 degrees last week for like 4 days.
90? We were up over 100.
We were up over 100 for a bit. Yeah, you're right. And then now we're back to cloudy, overcast, and like the high is maybe 70 fucking degrees.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I love it, but I'm just like, I needed to make a choice.
I know.
Something.
They're getting really, really opposite ends of the weather spectrum.
For the sake
here.
of my sinuses, it needs to make a single choice.
Yeah.
But actual personal updates. On doing a little bit of a cool thing for myself right now, creatively.
Oh.
There is a website out there called Film Freeway that allows you to submit various film projects to different festivals, just kind of like all over the world, without needing to like physically be present there and whatnot. They also take in scripts. For some of these festivals.
Nice.
So I've got one of my short scripts out there that's been floating around a couple festivals.
What's the elevator pitch for your script?
The elevator pitch is basically a same-sex couple are attacked by a group of religious zealots who are given the choice to either give up their quote-unquote sinful ways or lest they be ripped apart by demons. Literally.
Fun.
Yeah.
Fun, wholesome family stuff. It's in no way fueled by the political climate of today, I'm sure.
No, and definitely doesn't have any sort of like inspiration from my own religious trauma, being a bisexual who went to church as a child. Definitely nothing like that going on.
No
there.
way.
But yeah, so I've submitted out to like 4 now, gotten 1, didn't like it. But still, we're gonna keep going and see what happens with it.
Hell yeah!
So that's the big one going on with me right now. What about you?
So I think in the last episode I had already talked about, or maybe we hadn't wrapped up at that point, but I wrapped up the theatrical production of The Lightning Thief that I was doing at our local college. After that, I did get asked to come back and choreograph at another college.
We love to hear that.
I did their musical this past fall, and I'll be doing their show this fall, later on this year. So very excited about that. It's Shrek, so I'm very stoked.
That's fun.
Huge show.
Oh,
I'm gonna have my work cut out for me, but I'm very excited to do something kind of more full tilt. You know.
Yeah.
The first 2 shows I did were very like small, and it was like, you can do a little choreo here, but it's not like big time numbers, you know? Shrek has like numbers, like showstoppers, you know?
It's a huge show. Like, I haven't
massive.
seen it, but I know it's a huge production.
Well, see it. Watch the recording. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's so good. But yeah, no, I definitely have my work cut out for me, so I'm going to be working on that over the summer. But before I get into that, we have to move. So
yeah, that's right.
That's the big update for me, is we're just gearing up
for the big move.
And spring has been so busy that we haven't really had time to do anything. A lot of theoretical stuff happening right now.
We were having a slightly messed up conversation before recording, where we were just like, we no more friends. We're done.
My goodness.
We're cut off.
We have got to stop taking on friends.
I'm sorry.
Everyone has a birthday every other day. Yeah.
Friend of the show, Nicole, you're the last one in. This is it.
Oh no. That's crazy. We're all too busy. It's so hard being so popular.
I know. Everyone just wants to hang out with us and keeps asking us to go and do things. It's the worst.
We're just too busy. Simply can't have any more friends. No, so that's we're doing a lot of theoretical planning. What are we getting rid of? What are we keeping? what's going where, because we're moving. It's me and Garrett and our roommate Connor, and we're moving in with friend of the show Nicole. And we're moving into a big old house. Very excited. We'll have so much more space, but we're combining like 4 people's worth of stuff into a single house.
Might be good to clarify just very quickly that you guys were friends with Nicole before the show was.
Oh yeah, no, of course.
It's like they're not just moving in with a fan.
No. I think the people know that Nicole.
No, I know. I just want to make
friend.
sure that that's clarified.
Yeah, no.
Just to be on the safe side.
There was a poll. You may have missed it. We reached out and we said, "Hey, any fans? We're looking for one more to move in with."
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It was our first Patreon tier. Subscribe. You get to live with one of the hosts.
You get to live with one of the hosts. Oh man! And Jordan's we'll be doing next year. So if you want to live with Jordan, pay attention to the pod. Pay attention to this space.
Yep.
And you'll find out.
Yep. Heads up. Sometimes I just wake up screaming.
I think we could just cut there.
Oh, great.
Yeah. And I said it, so now we're doing it.
Yep.
All right, with all of that out of the way, it's time to get into today's topic, which is a game called Chants of Sennaar. That's Chants, Chants, of Sennaar, Sennaar. I need to explain that because everybody thinks it's something else.
Really?
Like, Chants of Sennaar. Well, what's Sennaar, and why is there a chance of it happening?
Oh, I see.
Yeah, no, Chants, well, they're both... Anyways, you get... Shut up! This is going terribly. It's called Chants of Sennaar. Title on screen here, so you know how to spell it. Is just this hidden gem that I happened upon.
I was gonna say I haven't even until you started talking about it. I hadn't even heard of this game.
No one has. So let me get into it.
Please.
So, it dropped in 2023, so it's very recent. It was made by a studio called RunDisc, and it's one of those quiet, kind of thoughtful games that really pulls you in if you're big into puzzle solving and storytelling. There's a cool narrative that's happening. The basic premise is you're this kind of robed traveler climbing a big tower, and each level is home to a different group of people. And they all speak different languages, and they can't communicate with each other. So it's kind of based on the Tower of Babel.
Okay, I do remember you speaking about this
a little bit. Yeah. So the idea is that none of them speak the same language, and your job is to figure out, like, that kind of decipher all of their languages and get them talking to each other, bring them together.
I see. Okay.
Right. Now, the thing
kind of the reverse of the story of the Tower of Babel. Where it's like the whole thing is that it's like they were building this giant tower and then they got split into different languages.
Right.
And then that's what caused like the descent and like the idea they're speaking within the idea of is that's what caused the split, the different cultures and blah 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 blah.
Right. It's kind of the after of that. Like it's been a long time and these are how these people live. Yeah. And they're all separated and divided. How can we bring them together?
Yeah. I love that.
So it's really cool, kind of flipping.
That is, exactly.
Flipping the script. So all of the characters speak in this kind of logographic language of their people, and it's your job to decipher what these symbols mean so that you can progress and then get them talking to each other.
Is it similar to like how you'd have to like kind of figure out like the language in Tunic, the way that kind of worked, or?
That was more of a direct translation. So it was like, oh, once you figure out what this means, you're able to read it, you know? This is like, here's the symbol. And like, you have your book that you reference to that helps you keep notes on like what languages mean or what symbols, different symbols mean in the language. But it's not a direct translation. It's kind of rough. But it's really satisfying once you start to get it. It's really satisfying. I'll get into that a little bit later.
Because that's such an interesting mechanic for a game.
It's so strange. It's unlike any game I've ever played. So cool. The vibe is really chill, kind of mysterious, really ambient. You kind of are just thrown into it. You don't know what's going on at all. You have no concept of language, but so it starts really basic. There's like a character, and it's like it's all chat bubbles, right? So that you can actually see the symbols. So, you know, there's a character and he's like beckoning you over and it shows the symbol in his chat bubble. And you're like, okay, I guess that means like, come here or something. And then like through kind of experimentation, you figure out, okay, this guy is trying to get me to follow him. And then you realize it's the symbol for follow me. Okay, got it, you know? Okay. So there's it's so cool. I can't speak about it enough. Anyway, so the big themes are communication, division and then connection, ultimately,
Yeah.
is the big idea. I'll get into the plot a little bit later, but just
sure.
some key points about the game. Indie studio, whoop whoop.
Yeah,
We love
love
it.
it.
We love it. It's a studio called RunDisc. Two guys. They hired some freelancers and a sound guy.
Yep.
So there were a total of 6 people that developed this game.
Jesus, fantastic.
A+ work, thank you, great job. And then, so after they got it kind of on its feet, it was discovered by Focus Entertainment, who went on to publish it. Finished up, supplied the rest of the funding that they would need.
Gotcha.
They hired on a sound guy, and they finished it all up. So, just to give you some context, I have an image of the book and the symbols of the first language that you start to learn in the game. So you can kind of see that you get to... one of the main mechanics is you're shown these pictures in the book, and you have all of the symbols that you've kind of collected in a way from the language. And as they appear in your book, you have to assign the image, the symbol, to the picture that it's giving you in the book.
Yeah.
And if it all matches up, then the book says, yep, you got it. Now you know these words.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So there's sort of a check built in so that you don't get like led way astray or like way off.
Yeah, or just like relying on you, the actual player, to just
memorize.
like keep track on all these
Exactly.
different languages and
Right.
the way that the symbols work.
Right.
Okay.
The thing that I liked a lot about this game is that as you were going through, when you got a symbol for the first time, it would show up in your book. You wouldn't know exactly what it meant, right?
Yeah.
But you could go in and you could assign it like a guess. So like, okay, I got the symbol and this was the kind of the context, so I think it means attack or something, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. And then as people continue to talk to you, it will actually use your guess in place of the like translation. So it's like, here's a word you know, here's the correct translation of that word. Here's this word you don't know, you think it means this. And then whatever the rest of the sentence might be. So your guesses get supplanted into the game as you're going through to help you discern meaning.
Yeah.
And then once you lock it in, then you get whatever the correct word is, and then you get the full correct translation of whatever you're looking at. So throughout the game, it's really cool. The architecture is really cool in this game. You're going through, there's like pictures with the logography of the, like writings, like hieroglyphs.
Yes,
like
gotcha,
hieroglyphs. So there's
gotcha.
art and there's hieroglyphs, basically. So that is kind of part of how you learn what the like words are and how you collect symbols, and then you talk to people and then lead you to. Anyways, very cool. Like I said, bizarre, hard to describe, unlike any game I've ever played.
Yeah, really.
Sounds
like there's like it sounds like it's not like simple is the wrong word. It's like basic, but with a lot of moving parts involved.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Where it's like looking at it from like the outside view, it's like, oh, move along these different levels of towers, figure out this language, and keep going.
Yeah.
But it's like within that, it's like all these different things that fit together. But I love that though, because it's like, comprehending and understanding different languages is a complex system. It's very hard to get.
Throughout the game, there are 5 different casts of people. They all have their own different language, and they all have probably close to 30 symbols. Some of them have more, some of them have less, but there's varying degrees of complexity. Also, all of the, and this is the language nerd in me coming out. All of the different groups have different syntax. So like different grammar and stuff. Is incredible. There's a lot going on with
that
this
is
game.
a crazy thing to think about and to put into a game.
Yeah.
And I mean that as a compliment. Like that's
So the first group of people that you meet are called the devotees.
Okay.
They're on the bottom floor. They're the first people that you meet in the first language that you acquire. Some of they don't have like a lot of like helping verbs that we have in English.
Yeah,
None of them do really. It's a really simplified language.
Yeah.
But like for example, they don't have a symbol for pluralization.
Ooh.
They repeat the same symbol twice. So if it's like the symbol for a devotee and they need to say devotees, then it's the same symbol twice.
Okay, I see.
To pluralize it,
Yeah.
right? Later on, there's a group that has a symbol for plural, and it goes before their noun. So plural warrior,
I see.
whatever, it means warriors.
Oh,
Then
yeah.
A later group is actually, the plural symbol comes after the noun. So, it's like stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like word order, like object predicate is like flipped around in some of the language. very cool. It's a very cool game.
That is real. Like, I'm not that much of a language nerd, but that is
it's
really cool. Just from a developing a game standpoint, to like
Yeah.
think about all those little things.
It gets really complicated because later on, as you go through this, it's called like the ziggurat or the tower.
Okay.
There are these consoles that you interact with, and on these consoles, you have to activate all of them throughout the tower to get to the real ending. But at each one, there is a person from one cast and then another person from another cast, and they're like trying to interact with each other. And once you have acquired all their language, what you do is you actually like take, because they're inputting like some message or something, you translate it into the other person's language, they respond, then you translate it back into their language, and you get them communicating with each other.
Okay.
And what happens is it ends up like, there's this group called the Alchemists. They're like science-based folks.
Right on.
Once you connect the two groups, they come back and actually help the devotees because their crops are all dying. So they come back and they're like, oh, we can help. And then their like crops are flourishing, you know?
Yeah.
So like stuff like that.
So it'll like the things that you're doing within it, like actually like interact with each other and affect the world around and whatnot. Okay. Are you like going like just straight up? Like is each part of the game just like moving up, or is there like some like up and down levels?
It's
to, like
all straight up.
Got you.
All straight up, yeah. So you start with the devotees, and then there's the warriors, then the bards, then the alchemists, and then they're called the anchorites. We'll get to them later.
Got you. No worries.
Yeah. So the main gameplay mechanics are kind of running around talking to people, getting language, and then figuring out all what it means. There's also some stealth sections, particularly in the warrior section. The second group of people that you meet.
I was gonna say that's for the just like for the sake of like what you've described for the game to suddenly throw in just like and there's a stealth section.
Yeah, there's a few.
Feels wild.
it's a bit bizarre, but it totally works.
But like all things considered, it actually does make a lot of sense.
You actually have to work your way into the warrior compound and put on like their armor and like pretend to be one of them for a hot minute.
Because that's really cool too. Because then it's also covers into just like, well, it's not just the language, it's how you assimilate into a culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's some, really, this like screams just really interesting symbolism all around.
Oh, yeah.
For like discussing culture and like how culture is like beyond just like being able to speak the language and stuff like that is really, really cool.
What's cool is in the warriors, they're very militaristic, you know, so there's like at one point there's like a guy barking orders, and then you see the people kind of carrying it out, and you're like, okay, that symbol in this language means that, and this means that. Okay, I'm getting, you know, so it's like really satisfying to like make really educated guesses and then have it be all accurate. Oh, so good. That was something I was going to say with the languages. So I got, in the first section, you get really comfy. At least I did, because I was looking very specifically at the symbols. And going, okay, when that symbol is there in a full character, it means some kind of person. That's the person marker.
Ooh, okay.
That means that. And when this symbol, there was like not a whole box, like a hook and then two sides. When that's around a symbol, it means the building where that thing happens. So there's like some really good like logography stuff happening in there. And it helped inform like, okay, now I don't know this symbol, but I know that thing in that means building. So I know that this is a house of some kind, you know, whatever, you know. So you get kind of good. Then I got to the warriors and none of that existed at all.
That was honestly going to be my question. Like, what are the differences we're dealing with between languages here? Because like, I could see a system where a developer would be like, well, obviously in some level, some of this should like stack, and like being able to pick up things from this culture should lead to like some understanding in this one, just from like a gameplay development standpoint. But I could also see the argument of being like, but that's not how language really works. So like when you go from one group to another group to another group, it has to be pretty distinct all around.
With the devotees, a lot of their language was like noun based. It was like noun or verb, and they had a lot of symbols within characters, and it's like, okay, that means that means that. Okay, cool, I kind of know what ballpark I'm in. The warriors had nothing going on. I couldn't discern any sort of meaning out of the symbols. No help whatsoever. I got to the bards. The bards is the third group of people. They have a very beautiful writing system. And there was some stuff that I was like, oh, I know what part of speech this is. I know that symbol means verb. I know that this means a noun of some kind. But past that, I was like, I don't really know what's going on. So that was kind of cool. And then the alchemist, I wish I had a picture of the alchemist language. But theirs was. Have you seen Doctor Who?
A bit, yeah.
Are you familiar with the Gallifreyan language in Doctor Who?
I know the term Gallifreyan. I did, but beyond that, it's not.
Okay, so
I was such a casual Doctor Who watcher. I would like catch episodes on occasion.
I understand. I'm gonna try to find an image of this if I can. But oh yeah, here we go. So theirs was a lot more like. Had rounded shapes and things. Theirs was cool because they had a number system that you actually kind of interpreted.
Ooh.
And so they had like, whenever it was a number, there was a straight line always in the center. And then if there was a symbol here in the bottom right, it was the ones place. If it was over here, it was the tens, and then the hundreds and the thousands. And there was some puzzles where you needed to figure out like certain numbers to get past things. So they're all science-based. So that was the cool part. And the part where I was like, okay, I got it. I got you. But past that, it was like, yeah.
Right. But I mean, like, that's, again, it's such a cool thing, too, to represent it, though, because it's like, for me, the real world equivalent would be like, me as somebody who obviously grew up a native English speaker, and like, you know, seeing some other languages and being like, well, I can't read these, I don't understand what this means, but I recognize the letters because, like, you know, German, French, Spanish, we all still use the same like alphabet and whatnot. But then like, to me, this would be the equivalent of like seeing Japanese for the first time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you're doing all this stuff that's like all these symbols that are like, I don't recognize all these, but I can kind of get the gist of like, this represents this and this. And then you get to one area and it's like they throw numbers at you. Well, no, I had no idea where to go from here. Now I don't even know where to start.
It does it in a really good way, though.
No,
like,
for sure.
You don't ever feel like I am lost at sea. You very much feel like, okay, I've got a little breadcrumb trail that I can follow, and I will figure out what this means.
So I was going to ask, just like going from each level to from different level to different level, like the kind of like the gamer stress level of like adapting and getting used to each section, like, does it really just like throw you in the deep end, or does it kind of like help ease you?
It kind of does throw you in the deep end, but it's in a non-punishing way. Death in this game is really non-punishing, which is nice. So when you're trying to stealth your way through the warrior compound, for example, if you get got, it's like flash, boom, you're dead, boom, you're back respawn, back where you started.
Gotcha.
So it's super non-punishing.
Yeah.
Which is nice because if you had to go through a loading screen every time you died, woof.
Yeah, very true.
So that was very nice. The simplicity and the minimalism of the game helps lend itself to that, of course.
Oh, for sure,
have to load a lot. But yeah, so each section is definitely vastly different.
Right.
You know, with the devotees, you're running around and kind of just figuring out the game itself at first, so that's really light. The warriors, all stealth.
Yeah.
Trying to get through the compound without dying and figure out what they need, whatever. The bards, you go and see like performances and things. Like, so you see like a big performance in a theater, and then you see like little like sort of like, you know, like organ grinder type things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Little organ grinder type like presentations with puppets and stuff. In their section. So, anyways, and then with the alchemists, you're actually trying to figure out how to like synthesize a thing. You do some alchemy until you get to the very top of the tower with the last group of people, which is where the game takes a turn. It gets so strange. You come in and it's this like kind of futuristic, kind of cubism like area. Totally different than everything you've seen before.
Yeah.
And you walk in and all of the people are strapped into like virtual reality headset.
Okay.
And they're like doing their own thing.
Hey guys, relax. Playing video games here.
Yeah. So before I get into the whole plot, everything is vastly different and has a different sort of gameplay because of the different cultures. You really are experiencing their culture and learning their language kind of at the same time.
For sure, yeah.
And that's what lends itself to the different gameplay mechanics. So
I love it though too, just like, so I just want to say, just like in the structure of like how the tower is sort of like built in the different cultures you experience as you go up, such an interesting thing to sort of be like, well, this is also sort of like how culture develops in a way.
Kind of,
Of just like you start like very like just like, well, we don't know how, sort of like in that way of just like, well, we don't know how to like explain things yet because we either lack the awareness or the technology to be able to explain it. Religious devotee status. Then you get to a very intense warrior culture, and then from there you kind of go like Renaissance.
Yeah, yeah. Renaissance, like art and then science. Yeah,
exactly.
Totally
it's just like it's a really cool, just like how much you're able to wrap up in this like very simple game in terms of like what they're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me just say
please.
The game is exactly as long as it needs to be, which I love in a game. It
Yeah.
does not belabor any of its sections.
Okay.
I mean, some of the puzzles are a little challenging,
Right.
but like you can get through them. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's it didn't feel the need to be long though, and I love it.
Oh yeah.
I knocked it out in like 2 decent chunked like game sessions.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And it was a cheaper game, so I'm not mad
Yeah.
about it at all.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Say like so somewhere between like 4 to like maybe 8-ish hours, somewhere within that time frame we're talking, or
8 to 10,
okay,
8 to 12.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. For me, like especially for like a puzzle based game, that's like the good length.
Yeah.
It's like a good amount of time.
Yeah.
Because anything past that, you're just throwing random puzzles at me at a certain point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, okay.
So let me really dive into the plot. So you start the game kind of like you do in Breath of the Wild. You wake up from like sarcophagus and you're like, here I am. What do I need to do? What's going on? And you're at the bottom level of this massive tower, the tower of the ziggurat. And each level you climb is home to a totally different culture with its own language. The whole goal is to decode the languages so that you can help everybody understand each other. First, you meet the devotees, who are these super religious folks, and they're hoping to find a god at the top of the tower. So they're actually trying to ascend the tower. Ascending the tower is sort of a sub-theme of the game. But the devotees are blocked by the warriors who guard the entrance to the next level, and they see these outsiders as impure.
Right.
Yeah. Above them are the bards, and their whole thing is about beauty and art.
Yeah.
The warriors thing is about duty.
Yeah.
They're like each cast has like a
like a
ultimate
very
goal.
specific like goal for each
exactly,
one.
right.
Gotcha.
So the bards are all about beauty and art, but they're also propped up on forced labor, so we don't love that.
Oh, that's not great.
No. They think that going higher in the tower means certain death because of this monster that exists between them and the alchemists.
Okay.
They are like, well, we can't go, like, the monster will eat us. And that monster actually is there.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask this, like, is the monster real or is it like
real? To get between them and the alchemist, you do have to like go kind of through his lair in these like mines and get around him.
Ooh, okay, interesting.
So anyways, you sneak past the monster and you find the alchemists, who are these sciencey folks that are busy doing these like experiments, and they're trying to figure out how to open the gate to get to the top level.
I see.
So that's kind of what you have to do. What they're looking for, I think they call it the formula.
Yeah.
The formula to like open the door or whatever.
That's so fascinating of just like even at that scale of like that just like then like the sort of like switch to like more science-based thinking as opposed to like a religious level thing at the bottom, the goal's still kind of the same.
Yeah.
So interesting. That's so interesting.
Yeah. So, and then you get to the very top, you actually make the formula, you like figure it out, and it's kind of partially because you have all of the other languages equipped, so you can kind of see like things that the alchemists can't see.
Right.
So you get it all together.
You have this understanding of all these different.
Yes,
it's so fucking cool.
Yeah, that's really
so cool.
I know. So you get to the very top and you meet the anchorites, who live in these VR headsets, completely cut off from the rest of the world. And it turns out that they actually built the tower and watched the rest of these people split off and stop talking to each other. And their AI system, which is called Exile, is keeping them isolated and kind of frozen in time. The VR headsets kind of prolong their life.
Okay.
And keep them kind of locked in, right? So the twist is that you were created by one of these anchorites.
Okay.
To bring everybody together and to help their people escape from exile.
Yeah.
So you start setting up the translation terminals. You get everybody talking to each other. They're sharing their music and their knowledge, and so like the warriors are waiting for like this. They have this like idea that there's like a song that will like bring about their like redemption. So the bards come and put on a concert for them, and they're like, "Oh my god, we're overjoyed! This is great!" And then the warriors are like, "Oh, actually, everybody's cool. Hey, we can help you with that monster." And then they go and kill the monster, and so everybody's talking. Whoa,
Yeah.
it's awesome. So, spoilers ahead for the end of the game and the true ending. If you don't want to hear it, skip ahead and don't listen. Sit down.
I don't have a choice. I have to get spoiled.
So, you have to go to these terminals and basically shut off the AI. And there's these big terminals in each of the levels that kind of keep the AI going. You have to go to each one and shut it off. As you shut it off, the AI gets more and more irritated about this. So you shut off all the terminals, you get up, and you think you're heading towards the top of the tower, and it kind of screens to black. And then you wake back up, and you're back at the starting point at your sarcophagus.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
You're back at your sarcophagus, and you're like, the fuck?
Yeah.
What's going on? So you walk out, and you see that same person that you saw at the beginning, but they kind of just run off, and you're like, okay, whatever. And you run up, and you go to the first sign that you ever see in the game, and it's all like glitched out. It's all fucked up.
Oh.
And you're like, okay, this ain't right. So you're kind of in this like final leg of the game where you've been got by the AI.
Yeah.
And the AI is trying to keep you from completely shutting it down because it was built to kind of like protect the anchorites, and keep them locked into the
keep them
virtual
separated
reality.
and safe.
Exactly. So it's
blah,
like
blah,
if
blah,
you shut
blah.
me off, you're whatever.
Yeah.
Obviously you have to get through it, and so you end up getting through it. There's like some little challenges that kind of work on everything that you've built up in the game so far, like any video game. And in the end, you bring it down. You shut down Exile. And the anchorites take off their VR gear, and they're back in the real world, and they start mingling with everybody. And it's all good. So you finally get back up to the top. You climb to the top of the tower, and at the very top, there's like a final console, and there's like some representatives from every group up there waiting for you. And you activate the final console, and this like kind of shape appears in like this kind of 3D shape, right? That symbolizes all of the connection of the terminals that you've done. So you've kind of been seeing this like work, like this 3-dimensional shape be built over the course of the game. And it like spins, and you see, boom, the sign for God for the devotees. It spins again. You see duty, the sign for the warriors. And then you see beauty, and then you see everything. And you realize, oh, it's all the same thing.
I love that so much.
Yeah, it's a little cheeseball, but like, whoa, at the same time.
With a story like this, I want that ending to be a little cheeseball. You know what I mean? I want something like that.
Yeah. So you realize that, these are all kind of reflections of the same thing we were all striving for.
Yeah.
And we're really not all that different.
Yeah. Oh, I love that so much, though.
So, at the end of the game, everybody is talking to each other. Different casts aren't, separated anymore. Everybody can communicate. And you broke down all of the walls that were keeping everybody divided.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
It's so cool just to see something like that, though, with just like so many echoes, like you said, like the Tower of Babylon and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I also see like so many things of just like, I have the story of like I have no mouth and I cannot scream with the AI aspect to it and whatnot. But then just like, the culture stacking and like ultimately all sort of like having these similarities that all come together. That's such a cool,
it's so great.
Cool idea. I love that.
The game went on to be nominated for a number of awards. It did win the New York Game Awards Off-Broadway Award for Best Indie Game. So great work there. It was also nominated for a number of others. You can do your own research. I can't recommend this game enough. It's available on all platforms, and if you have any sort of love for puzzle games, pick it up. Pick her up.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna give this thing a shot.
Do it.
This sounds so much fun.
It's so fun.
Yeah,
I will help that.
Yeah, please do. I'm gonna need help on this one.
All right, that is it for Chants of Sennaar. We hope you liked that. We have hit the bonus round. Jordy, what have you got for us?
Oh, I'm excited about this one. We are doing another Reddit story today.
Yay.
Love doing these. It's just so much fun. And it seems to me that like this might actually tie in because it feels like this might be a bit of a miscommunication that has happened here.
Oh, indeed. Well, do go on.
All right, so the title for this one is it's a Am I the Asshole Reddit story. Am I the asshole for telling my friend his game is stupid?
Let's hear him out.
Just say vibes at the gate. I think you might be just based on title alone.
Maybe.
But sometimes these surprise us.
Yeah.
All right. I'm 23-year-old female. He's 23-year-old male. He's my friend. Has been since elementary school. He's gay, so there's nothing romantic between us either. Okay. Our friend group is very active, but he's not anymore. He's now disabled. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
Oh, no. What?
I've read this story.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay,
it's
carry
fine.
on.
Okay. He's now disabled and unable to do most activities we used to do because he can't walk long distances, and his dominant arm gives him problems. He was in an accident at his workplace. He was very depressed for the longest time and still struggles with things. It's been over a year since the accident. While he's not as depressed in general anymore, he does get sad when we go on our trips without him, and he doesn't have good self-image anymore. He's a very handsome guy, and any man would be lucky to have him. But he thinks because he's disabled, his income is disability, that he's not fit to date anyone real, apparently.
Oh, no.
Around the time he started feeling less depressed, his sister got him into video games, which none of us in our friend group are into. We like being active, not pretending to be. All right. But a few months ago, he got this one popular game, and it really turned things around for him. Namely, the fact that you can date other characters, which is weird to me. He's grown very attached to this game and tries to talk to us about it. A couple in the group act interested. The rest of us just don't really care. I try to talk to him about getting out into the real world again, but he doesn't seem interested. Well, once again, he tries to talk about this game and this character he really likes, and I finally had enough. I told him no one cares about his stupid game, and he needs to find someone real and experience the real world however he can again. No one else said anything, and he left to get an Uber home. One of our friends tried to offer him a ride, but he just quietly denied and left. We all went home after, and I got back to find he left our group chats and blocked me. I don't know if he's blocked the others as well. He left one last message saying, "That game is the only way I can feel like a normal person again. I'm not disabled. I can walk as long as I want. I can explore everything it will allow me without my body hurting. Character might not be real, but he looks at my character in ways I wish I could be looked at. I only get looked at with pity anymore. He doesn't see that. No one I meet in that game does. So forgive me for finding something that brings me joy. It can't replace real life. The character can't replace the love and touch of a real person, but it's as close as I'll ever get." Our friend group had mixed emotions about the whole thing, but when I ranted to my sister about it, she got indignant and told me that I messed up big. She said I was a jerk for making him feel more isolated and for not entertaining him talking about that dumb game. I told her I just wanted him to experience real life and real people instead of focusing on that stupid game, but she hung up. Maybe I was harsh, but am I really the asshole? Yes! Emphatically and fucking absolutely, yes, you are.
So I thought this was going to go a different direction. I thought this was going to be, am I the asshole for telling my friend this game that he developed and created is stupid. I thought it was going to be that.
When I first read it, that was my initial thought too.
So totally different direction. Oh my God. My heart goes out to this guy. This poor guy. I can tell just from the way that OP wrote this that they have opinions about
100%.
people that play video games. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They're like what did she say specifically?
It was something
we like to be active instead of pretending to be.
It's like, get fucked, dude.
Get so fucked.
Get absolutely fucked.
Also, especially in saying this in context to your friend who has been physically disabled.
They can't do the things they used to be able to do. Like, they just can't.
The ableism is strong.
It's crazy how much ableism is in this.
Yeah.
And I do understand, I am fully all with, the idea of, that you have concerns for this friend who seems to, be lost in this virtual world rather than living in the real one. But that is a nuanced conversation to have.
Yeah. And it doesn't seem like that's the case.
No.
Also, if somebody went through a horrible accident and their entire quality of life was upended,
yes,
and they have low self-confidence and all of the stuff that the friend seems to be in tune with that, in tune but not sympathetic to.
Yeah.
You know,
That's what it is. I think it's a very
It's like-
major lack of like sympathy and empathy.
yeah, it's
involved.
like you walked straight into the point and
Yeah, dude.
missed
And
it,
completely
you
fucking
know?
missed it.
It's like if this person is going through all of that and this video game is bringing them some joy and making them feel normal, that's probably a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
And you should probably be encouraging that.
Yeah.
Because like, yeah, he feels this way right now. And like, you can't police how people feel. Like, they're gonna
No.
feel how they're gonna feel, and everybody's gonna process things differently. If
Yeah.
this is how he processes it, and then one day can maybe feel confident enough to
Yeah.
like enter the dating scene again, then by
Yeah.
all means, play your game.
And
Like,
based on like their response when like that blow up happened, they're not like in denial. They're not like, oh, this is a real relationship I'm in. They're
Exactly.
like, this is a great way for me to escape the real world for a little
Right.
bit, man.
Exactly.
Let me fucking have this.
yeah, totally.
And just like it's something else too that drives me nuts with people like this this woman in general, not just Reddit, but when they like speak on behalf of others too. When there was a little bit of implications like, well, everyone feels this way too. They all think it's a dumb game and it's stupid and blah blah blah.
Somebody-
and guess what? When you say something like that in that group setting and then everyone else is fucking quiet except for you,
Yeah.
not everyone agrees with
Not
you.
everyone agrees
Read the
with
fucking room.
Totally.
Not everyone's on the same
Yeah.
page as you. This is a very arrogant
Yeah.
person as well.
I agree. I also find it hard to believe that in any modern friend group, there's not at least one other person that's kind of into video games.
There's no fucking way.
I just don't buy it.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah.
fucking way. Just like, oh, and none of us play video games.
Yeah.
Like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Or at least enjoys it to the point that they would be interested in hearing what their friend has to say about this thing that they really enjoy in their life. And that kind of at the end of it, at the end, I was like, this just boils down to you yucking somebody's yum.
Yes.
And that makes you the asshole.
Exactly. Let me also say, too, in terms of like people whose like primary thing is like being into fitness, my father literally does like 100-mile marathons in the fucking mountains.
Yeah.
He is a dedicated listener to this podcast. He doesn't understand any of it, but he loves that like I'm passionate about
I
this
love
thing.
that.
He doesn't.
Shout out to Art.
Oh yeah, he doesn't fucking get it, but like he listens and like he'll listen to me just talk about stuff in person too.
Yeah.
Because he knows it means a lot to me.
Yeah.
And like you don't need to get video games. It doesn't have to be
You
your
do
thing.
not, no.
But just understand that there's something that your friend loves and enjoys and brings them fucking happiness.
You should, if you're a good friend, you should be able to listen to anybody's special interests.
Yeah.
And it should like warm your heart. You know?
Because the thing that kills me too is this like it's a big component, but remove the whole thing about like the horrible accident this person went through and whatnot.
Right.
This person's still an asshole.
Absolutely.
Like you're still a huge asshole for having
Absolutely.
this much of a reaction.
Yeah.
For like just someone being like, oh, let me talk about this game I'm playing.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
I mean, it's so rough. I view that this person is using this game in a therapeutic way.
Yeah.
And it's like to like completely disregard that, I think is crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
This person needs to go touch grass.
Yeah, this person needs therapy. You're the
Yeah,
one who
this
needs fucking
person.
therapy.
Absolutely. Any comments?
Yeah,
or
we do have
updates?
one comment here for
Okay,
this.
yeah.
You're the asshole, and your friend explained pretty well why.
Yeah.
He is changed now, and he is trying to adapt to the new situation, and he found something that brings him joy, and he tried to include you and your group, at least in the stories about it. So you guys know what he is doing, and you can all stay more connected, instead of isolating him because he cannot be active the same way anymore. But instead of realizing this and being happy and interested in his new hobby, you mocked him, belittled him, and spoke as if the entire group is thinking the same thing as you are saying, and they didn't apologize in any way. When you saw his reaction when he left, when you read his message, you just ranted because you felt somehow hurt. Congratulations, you helped him experience a real-life asshole behavior through your shiny example.
It's crazy. This person came to Reddit and was like, had to type all of this out and still could like see that.
Yeah.
Like,
It's crazy. That's a crazy part to me with stuff like this.
Like-
when like you wrote this whole thing out and you went, I'm on the right side of history here. Click.
yeah, the internet will tell me that I'm right.
Yeah, right, guys?
That's
Come on.
crazy.
Jesus.
Ooh,
Good Lord.
Get real, man.
Yeah.
I can't believe you typed out a whole paragraph and went, oh, and I was... and my disabled friend left because of a thing I said, and you couldn't realize.
And you
that
couldn't realize that
like,
you were the fucking problem here.
ooh. Also, just the note about we don't like to pretend to be active is crazy.
It's
Your friend
crazy.
is physically disabled.
Yeah.
So does he just deserve to be sad
Yeah.
and joyless?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
That's OP has pissed me off.
Yeah.
I hope that the comments further raked her through the coals.
If I remember correctly, they absolutely did. So
Great.
I think we're covered on that.
Well
I don't think
deserved.
anybody was like agreeing with her.
Good. Asshole.
Asshole. Absolute asshole.
Thank you all so much for listening. We hope that you enjoyed our episode about Chants of Sennaar. Would you pick this game up? Do you like language puzzle-based games? Let us know in the comments.
Also, if you have any ideas for future discussions for the show, send us an email at 3vopodcastteam@gmail.com. Give us your ideas. You can also find us on all the socials, even the bad ones. But yeah, we're on there, so please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really makes a difference, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.